So today on this Fan Dabby Dozy episode, I'm going to be showing you how to plasterboard in awkward places. Well, I'm going to be giving you some tips anyway on how to plasterboard in awkward places like this, as you can see. And as you've just seen a second ago, how awkward I am working to get this shop sorted. Well, my workshop sorted. So basically, the first tip I'm going to show you is the last thing you want to be doing is getting all the way up here, getting into an awkward space like that, climbing in and realising you haven't got your tools or the materials you need. So basically, the first tip I can give you is make sure you've got all your gear up with you. Make sure you've got your ladders positioned. Make sure you've got your drill and all the materials, like a hammer for argument's sake as well. Obviously you need your hammer as well, just in case you need to knock something out of the way or tap something. Because the last place you want to be is in an awkward place like this, which is all the way down there. You don't want to be all the way, have to go all the way down there to get your tool, to get your spirit level, or your hammer, or your drill, or your screws. That's the last place you want to be. So that's the first tip. Right, tip number 2. You get all the way at the top. You're struggling like mad. You've got your bit in, just like you think, and you're trying to push it off, but it's just too tight. It'll be too like this. And all I do is you get all the way up here, and you think to yourself, oh, I just can't push it up. Don't be going banging it, or like I've just said, or using your hammer. All you have to do is put a piece of noggin across it and just give it a tap all the way across, and it'll take it straight back to all your joists where you need to be, because it's only a couple of mil. Obviously if it's something like 10 mil bigger, then you're stuck, you know what I mean? You have to take it down and recut it. But if you're only talking about a couple of mil, say about 3 or 4 mil, and it's just too tight to get up, like I say, noggin, hammer, little bit of a tap all the way across your desired plasterboard, and you're on the money. Right, we've got tip number 3 now. It's about mark your joists. The last thing you want to be doing is you want to be getting your drill and all of a sudden, you know, be thinking, oh, I tell you, I'm putting a bullet hole there. Oh, I tell you, I'm putting a bullet hole there. Oh, I tell you, I'm putting a screw hole here and a screw hole there. It just ends up messed. It's not where you want to be. So what you want to do is you want to have a look. So say this is your wall and you've put your plasterboard up to your wall. 9 times out of 10, you're going to have your joists at between 400 or 600. So we've found out you've established your joints at 400 for argument's sake. So you put all your insulation and everything's in. You go up, put your board up, you put it up now flat against your wall. You put it against your plaster, we'll say we put it against your other plasterboards. Your other plasterboard's here, and you put it against your plasterboard. What I like to do, it takes about 5 minutes more time, but it takes less time because then you know exactly where you put your screws in. All you do is you measure your 400s, obviously you've measured, so before you've put your board up, you put your board up at the top and you found out where all the joists are, okay? So you found out you mark a joist here, you mark the joist there, the joist there. And all I do then is I get a piece of board, obviously a piece of plasterboard, and I put the plasterboard on the floor like so. Before I put the board up, or whatever, I get the plasterboard here. And I mark where all my joists are. So I've marked like so where all my joists are. So you can see now where all the joists are, everything is. So you've marked at the top here, the top there, you marked at the bottom here, you've got all your joists, and then all you do is you basically just marry everything up. So let's say for argument's sake, because of the camera, this is your bottom of your, this is the bottom of the wall, that's the top of the wall. So you got your plasterboard like this, all your joists are marked out on the plasterboard, and all you do then is go along, mark them, at the top, mark them, and then it's just a case of basically just doing this. But for the purposes, I'll make it as neat as possible. So what I'll do is I'll measure out 400. So I've got one joist, 400, one joist 400. 400 at the top, and then I'll go 800 here, 800 there, 800 here. It's just a case then, get them. Now your plasterboard now is dead up against this other plasterboard. Imagine it was against the plasterboard. All you do then is get your pencil down. There's your first joist. Pencil down. There's your second joist. Now, 9 times out of 10 when I was doing my extension, I got told by the council or whatever who come to check everything. They turned around, I had to go down every 300. They wanted everything screwing every 300. Plasterboards, when I was putting obviously plywood on my ceiling, everything every 300. So I've always stuck to that. So all you do now is you get your top bit, you go down 300 there, and you go down, for argument's sake, 600, then you go 900, so on all the way down to 2.4. Once you've done that, it's quite easy. All you do then is basically off that one, get your spirit level, here, make sure it's all level, and then go up to it, all the way down to this one, there like that, and then we'll do the other one for argument's sake. Level that there. There we go. So then what happens is, you've got your joist coming down here, you've got your joist coming down there so you know where your joists are. Then you've got your lines of your 300s of where you're going to put your screws, and it looks something like this. So I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but as you can see, you've got your crosses here, there we go, got your crosses there. So every cross is there, but when you spirit leveled, you spirit leveled across to here, which is there. So what happens is, put your screw through there, put your screw through here. So in return, you know where all your screws are, you know exactly what you're doing, you know exactly where you're putting everything, and then there's no screw holes going all over, so you're not like forever and a day looking for stuff. It's another tip. Right, next tip's going to be, cut your boards 5mm short. So you want your board to be 30 centimetres. So you got your 30cm board, you've done your measurement, do it 29.5 centimetres. The reason you want to go 29.5 centimetres because you've got that 5mm play to wiggle your board in. So if you're stuck and you get up there, like I say, in an awkward place like that, last thing you want to be doing is you don't want to be like this, smashing hell out the board like I've been showing you, or have to get all the way back down and obviously cut everything. You want to cut it right first time, and then the board just slit in, you've got that little bit of wiggle room. And also as well, whether you're taper jointing or you're plastering, the plaster and the scrim cloth will cover all that, so you'll be sound. And also as well, you can give it 2.5mm at the bottom and 2.5mm at the top, so you've got a bit of wiggle room and you'll be sound as a pound. The things I've just showed you earlier on about getting obviously the wood and ploughing it in, that is a last resort, and you want to use that as a last resort. That is just a little tip to get you out of jail, if you like, and to get you where you need to be. So that's tip number 4. So we've got tip number 5 now. If you like to come with me, be it. So what's happening here is we've got our point where it's obviously going to be an awkward cut. Now I could measure it all if I wanted to, but you've got measurement down here, you have to take a measurement there, you have to take a measurement again. So what I've decided to do is I've decided to make like a little, like a jig. So the jig goes like this. Obviously I just got some cardboard. I just put the cardboard up and I put some masking tape or gaffer tape, and I've basically made a jig to go around, like a template, let's call it. And the template goes around and draw around it all on the plasterboard, and I can cut it out. And it should look a little something like this. So I've got my template down now and it looks a little bit like this. I'll show you now. There you go. There's the template. That's no good. Let me give you a better angle. So there's the template here. All of it's ready, so all I've got to do now is just pencil round it all. Once I've penciled round it all, basically all I need to do, so I just need to get my saw. I'll saw it all down. So it's a normal saw, nothing special, just a wood saw will do. Saw around it all. Once I've done that, I'll show you how it looks, and hopefully it should slot in to the desired place where I want it to be. And that is basically, it cuts out all the measurements, cuts out all the shenanigans. But anyway, I'll show you in the next, well, couple of seconds. Right, so it's in now at last. Obviously, I've cut it a little bit shorter. So there's a few gaps over here. That's nothing. Basically all I'll do there is you can put a little bit of bonding in, or scrim cloth will cover that, you know what I mean, and a bit of plastic, so you'd be sound as a pound. There's no point and no need to worry there. So that's in, that's all sorted. So basically that's how you do the that's how we use the template to obviously get in awkward places. Well, that's how I do it. So yeah, that's tip 5. Happy days. So we're now on tip number 7. So if you've got yourself a nice little tiny bit like this, okay, to cut out, nice little tiny bit there to cut out, don't mess about with standing knives or saws or any malarkeys like that. This way to do, I find, if you've got one of these, obviously if you haven't got one, it'll have to be a standing knife or a saw. Multi-tool, let's get one of these multi-tools and basically just do this. And there we have it, all nice and cut down. That's tip number 7. That's it for this exciting episode, and I'd just like to say thank you very much for watching. I hope these tips are helping you, because this is ultimately what I'm here to do, help people. So if you want to leave anything in the comments, leave them in the comments. Also as well, I'm going to set up an Instagram account, so if you want to try and get in touch with me there, you can, and ask any questions you want or anything, and I'll try and get in touch with you as best I can, and I'll try and put them in videos or something like that. So with that said, thanks very much, take care, see you in the next one.